Hello, my beautiful people. Welcome back to the channel. If it's your first time tuning in, welcome to All Things Delicious. Today on Brave Belly, I'm going to be eating and reviewing the newest military ration from ARPOL. Okay, so apparently this is kind of like a hybrid of military ration and of commercially available ration. Check it out. Now, this company is contracted with the Polish Defense Forces to make all their military rations. However, I believe this one could be made for the consumer, okay, for the public. This one is expiring in 2026, so this is considered fresh for military style rations. And this is going to be their breakfast. So we're going to start off with breakfast. It has both English and Polish writing. I am Polish. I could read Polish, but I'm a better English reader. Maybe just a little bit better. Basically, it says, "We feed heroes." There's a nice picture. It looks like an Apache helicopter. Since 1991 is the ARPOL is the brand. Okay. And it says, "Zestaw PC Lont." Okay, so this is for like the land forces maybe. Number 2. Full day package. Yeah, so this is an individual meal, but I guess it's one of the meals for the full day package. Anyway, guys, without further ado, let's get the show on the road. All right, so if you guys looking down here as my cast members, this is my little collection of Polish knives, bayonets to be exact. So this was my first acquisition. This is the classic AKM2. This is made by FB Radom. And so, yeah, very classic. Check it out. Just going to show you real quick, not a review. Just want to show you guys what it is. Okay. Super old school. Smells like that cosmoline oil. I love that smell. Puts me in the mood. Check it out. Okay. My second acquisition is their current issue bayonet. All right. This is also from the same company, FB Radom. My favorite color, matches the watch kind of. All right. Check this one out. Boom. All right, little felt. It's a smaller knife. I believe they used extreme ratio as like an inspiration, if I'm gonna guess. That's kind of what it reminds me of. Of course, it has the Constantina wire cutter. As you can see, look, it separates nice and easy. And then I guess this is how it works to cut the wires. You see that? So yeah, and then so my favorite one is the one that I just got. The reason being that it's my favorite is this actually matches my rifle that I have from FB Radom, my barrel. Okay, so this is look, check this out. It says 1998 on it. No, sorry, where is the freaking writing? Could have sworn I saw it somewhere, but yeah. Hold on. Okay, so this says 2018, sorry. Check that out. All right, pretty awesome. As you can see, it's new, never used. All right, matching serial numbers. All right, also Fabryka Broni and classic. All right, but this one looks better on the barrel. Even though they use this one, I just put this one on my classic AKM, you know, with the wooden furniture. And then this one goes on the barrel. Anyway, guys, without further ado, let's get to eating. I'm starving, haven't eaten all day. And yeah, let's go. If you're wondering why I have a tomato, because like I said, this is kind of like a hybrid, you know? So I believe this is made for the consumer, for the, you know, for the general public. So being that I'm the general public, I got a tomato because I know there's pate in here, and I'm gonna have the pate. I think it's pate, could be ham. We'll see. Anyway, let's see what's inside this freaking package. All right, nice heavy duty plastic, as you can see. And they go with the same military bagging that they use for the military. And here we have it. All right, so first things first, jam, that's jam basically. Black, czarna porzeczka is, I think it's like blackberry or black currant or something like that, if I'm not mistaken. Then we have, oh yes, guys, this is so awesome. We have the condensed milk. This is super delicious with a cute little kitty. All right, I can't wait to down this. All right, zagęszczone słodzone. That means it's sweetened and thickened, I guess. Milk, all right, condensed milk. So looking forward to that. Always puts me in a good mood when I see something like this, you know, like sizable, freaking, and delicious. Looking forward to it, all right? I'm sure if you're a soldier, you're probably happy to receive this because it's like kind of, you know, it's an off-the-shelf product, so probably reminds you of home. Good for morale. All right, then we have the cutlery set. Guys, check this out. I never seen this little mini one. I'm gonna open up the cutlery real quick. Look, it has a little baby spoon. I don't know what that's for. Never seen one like this. And it's wood, so super Polish. All right, then we have a sizable spoon. And I gotta say, the quality is nice. The craftsmanship of this wooden utensils is definitely, you know, high quality, if I was gonna say, compared to the other ones that I've seen from other countries. I know Belarus has wooden ones, but they look way cheaper. This looks like really nice. So very impressed, guys. Check out the knife. Nice sizable teeth. Also stamped with the branding, the hot stamp. It's called Green Line, 100% compostable, compost. All right, and that's the fork. So really, really impressed by the utensils. We have a beautiful sized freaking napkin, big man size. Okay, this is the way a napkin should be. So far so good, guys. Impressed with the quality of ARPOL. Really awesome. All right, this is garbage. Let's set that off. Let's see what else we have here. We have some kind of bar. All right. And like I said, all this stuff is described on the pack. We're gonna go, you know, one by one and open it up everything anyway. So then we have this crisp. So I'm glad I got the tomato because I'm gonna put whatever meat we have on this crisp and have it with a tomato like a real Polak, okay? And then we have the pasztet tradycyjny, which is the pate. So we have pate and mielonka. I don't know, wieprzowa. I'm not sure what that is. That should be whatever. We'll open it up and see. But guys, let's see about the beverages. I got scared for a second thinking there's no beverages, but we have an accessory pack, so I'm sure it'll be there. We have a wet wipe. We have 2 packs of white sugar. Check that out. Cukier biały, white sugar. All right. The graphics. What else do we have? We have a tea. Look at that in a nice clear plastic. I like the presentation, not gonna lie. Very one of a kind. Instead of like that paper one, you have a nice clear plastic so it stays fresher longer. Makes sense. The brand. And we'll let that steep on the side real quick while we keep it moving. All right. Looks like we have a little garbage bag. Very dainty. So the Poles like to keep it clean, which is smart. All right, so let's start throwing out some of this garbage. What else do I have here? Okay, that. And then I gotta say, this is cool too that it came in a Ziploc, just as an observation. You know, the fact that if it got squeezed, it wouldn't get all over the food, it'll stay in this. So that's pretty smart of them. Okay, so lots of Ziplocs. One here and then another zip here, you know, with everything. So that's pretty cool. You don't want stuff getting all over the place. So it looks like we have a instant coffee as well. So we're gonna brew that up as well. Let's go. We gotta try everything up in here. This is their breakfast. So we're gonna see how the Poles start their day. All right. Throw that in the little baggie. Little dainty baggie. And I gotta say, just some instant coffee, very fine. Just nothing to say about it other than it smells like coffee, all right? That's about it. Now we're gonna go straight with the sugar. It looks like there's The only creamer here is that. So actually, yeah, we won't use the sugar for this. We'll just use the sugar for the tea. And let's start eating some of this food. I'm starving. Literally haven't eaten all day. We have salt, pepper, and a xylitol. And then we have some new one that I've never seen yet. So this is little chiclet chewing gum. And this is called Roxy's Vitamin C and Fruit Juice. Check that out. So it's like a little vitamin tablet. Pretty cool. All right, so what are we starting with? Let's do, well, we're gonna open everything up. Let's try these crackers. This is what they look, it says pieczywo chrupki typu lekkie żytnie. So it's like a light wheat, crunchy carb or something like that. If I'm gonna, my little off the cuff translation. The reason why I'm using the knife is I don't want to crack them. And let's go. Just gonna lay them all out. You know, I'll be honest, I'm a little saddened that there's no Panzer waffles. The Poles have good Panzer waffles, like hard crispy waffles, but I guess this is gonna be in the supper and dinner, so, but we will see. So what are we gonna start with? First, let's start off with a little bit of jam. Now I might be funky and mix the jam with some of this meat. Let's see about this meat. All right, so this is their, it just says traditional pate. All right, I don't know what they mean by traditional, but looks really nice. See the color, nice and creamy. All right, let's just go straight into serving it out. Boom, spreads very nice. All right, as you can see, very delicate and soft and airy. Check that out. Oh yeah, these crisps are so bomb with the pate. It goes perfectly together because they're delicate. All right, so this is like a very nice experience. Wow, really liking that. Let's see about what this is. Oh, this is like a ham. Check that out. So we're gonna go all the way Polish. This is how we eat pasztet in my parents' household, is with tomato and salt and pepper. That's how I like it. That's my favorite way. So we're gonna do that up real quick. Just show you guys how I usually enjoy pate. Why not, right? Why not? There's no rules here. We do what we want. So I'm gonna have this one. Where is my salt and pepper now, guys? There goes the salt and there goes the pepper. Actually, I'm just gonna make another one real quick. Might as well. Little pasztecik over here. Absolutely delicious, by the way. This pate, just super smooth and creamy. Absolutely love it. I would give a 10 out of 10 for this pasztet. The Polish make good pasztet, in my opinion. Some of the best. I don't know if I'm being biased because I am Polish, but I have tried pasztet from other countries. The ones that I would say are very comparable are the Hungarians. They make very good pate as well. And the Belarusians make good pate as well. As opposed to like countries where their pates are a little like intense and taste very much like very livery, and they're not as like airy and delicate, you know what I mean? So this is more of like a pleasant experience. It's more like a top shelf pate, but here we go. This is how I like my pasztet. Oh yeah. Looks, right? Now we're gonna have this with tea like a real Polak, all right? Little herbatka action. Oh yeah, really nice. Okay, so it's a basic tea. I don't know how to describe it because I'm not a tea drinker per se, but it's a basic ass tea with sugar, that's all. Now, paired with this, ooh. Wow. I'm glad I have more. Real nice. This experience is nothing like food that came out of a pouch at all. I mean, this is stuff that I wouldn't even feel bad, giving it to friends or whatever, you know what I mean? Or even children, as it's definitely delicious. Check that out. And I like putting it on nice and thick, right? I do have another tomato. I think I'm gonna go to the fridge and grab it. All right, this one, no salt and pepper. We're out. They don't give you that much. Of course, they don't expect you to have tomato, but yeah. This is the best way, in my personal opinion, to enjoy pashtet. And I was told that they also enjoy it with cucumber, which is not bad, but with tomato, for me, it's the best. I'm gonna get another tomato and more salt and pepper. And I already sliced these up. I got some pepper right here. Now this is how I like it. A little extra pepper never hurt nobody. And then let's go with some salt, just a pinch. That pepper went straight up my nose, so. All right, we're back to eating. I'm gonna do one more of these pashtets, but this one I'm gonna do with some jelly. Now I know Polish people will probably think that's crazy, as most, I know Slavics are, like Russians. When I eat pate with their jam, they're like, oh my God, you're a monster, which is hilarious. But that's how I like it, honestly. So at the end of the day, it's all about what you enjoy. That's what's most important. And I gotta say, this pashtet is worth licking the can out. 10 out of 10 for this traditional pashtet from ARPOL. Absolutely love it. All right. So we're gonna have it with some of this jam. I don't know if I should have, I'll put the whole thing in there. Why not? Now, if you're Polish, tell me if you guys ever tried it this way. I bet you haven't. It's very, this is a big stigma in Poland to eat it like this. Oh, słodko, like who cares? It's sweet and savory. It's going down. Real nice. Because a nice contrast. This is super tart. It tastes absolutely delicious. This freaking jam is 10 out of 10. Really intense, dark, very flavorful and bright at the same time. Wow. Really delicious. Oh yeah. I absolutely love it. Wow. 10 out of 10 for the jam. That's freaking wild. All right. Let's go on to this. What do they call this? Mielonka wieprzowa. I think it's just freaking ham. Like canned ham, like their version of a spam. And as you can see, lots of fat in there. which I love because it's more flavor. And let's see about this. It's not coming out very easily. There we go. That's a nice piece, I must say. Let's go. First, we'll do no tomato. Wow. Really good quality. This tastes like something that came out of a butcher. You know, a butcher shop, like a European deli. Very delicious. Tastes nothing like Spam at all whatsoever. In fact, I wish my American friends could try this. They'd be blown away at the quality. Tastes just like clean. It doesn't taste like, has no kind of like canning taste. It doesn't taste like industrial at all whatsoever. Like I said, tastes like something that came straight from a butcher. All right, this is how I like it with the tomato. It just adds more, contrast. The acidity of the tomato. It's a beautiful balance or contrast actually with the fat in the pork. And a little bit of salt on it, the pepper, just some more depth. Absolutely phenomenal. Wow. Guys, I must say for a breakfast, this is 10 out of 10. But if I'm gonna be honest, it'd be nicer if they also had cheese. Then it'd be really awesome. But maybe I'm just expecting too much. I don't know. Let me cut that. All right, so we got 2 pieces. We got some, you could see that little gelatinous part. Let's do 2 tomatoes on this one. All right, check that out. Little open face sandwich. Wow. Really nice. The tea goes so well with it. Like I said, even though I'm not a tea drinker, they give you 2 sugars. I think I would use another sugar because I could barely taste it. All right, we have one last one. Oops. Don't want to lose that. I mean, the quality of the meat is phenomenal. I only wish the American United States MREs were half as good as this. They definitely are not. And to the people that hear me say that and are kind of like mad about it, guys, I'm just being honest. That's all. It was they just mentioned in the news that apparently 100% of US MREs that were tested had pesticides in it. So I already knew all along that something was off about the American MREs, and sure enough, I was right. So it sucks to be like in a country with like the most defense spending on the planet, and we have the worst food. But it is what it is. All right, last bite of the Polish Spam. All right, real good. I still don't know what this freaking, I think maybe this was for the jam. Who knows? Guys, let me know in the comments what this little spoon is for. All right, let me do a quick wipe down, and then we're gonna try this bar, and we're gonna do the condensed milk. Now, this is the biggest drawback out of this ARPOL. They have such crappy paper, okay? Freaking wet naps. And they smell terrible. This smells like chemicals. You know, that lemon chemical that you're like cleaning your oven with? Why would you want to like wipe yourself with that? So that, I must say, they could definitely improve on that. We have the black coffee. Super bitter. Actually, it tastes like toasty. Not bad at all. Very drinkable this way, but of course we're gonna have it with this. So many calories to start your breakfast with this, but it is what it is. And that's what it's looking like. We got a nice toasted yellowish color. Oh man, that's delicious. Wow. So rich. Wow. 10 out of 10 for that. Literally tastes super high end, like some freaking high end white chocolate almost. All right, look how nice and creamy. This is how I like my coffee. Wow. Absolutely phenomenal. All right, let's see about this bar. Take a look. All right, so it looks like a granola bar and it's got like the wafer on the outside so it doesn't get sticky. That's what it's looking like. Not much of a smell, a little bit on the fruity smell. That's about it, but it smells dusty, like inside of a drawer, like an IKEA drawer. That's what it smells like, with a little hint of fruit. Very chewy. It has a lot of like chew to it. You actually get a workout with your jaw with this. It's not bad. I've had worse before. Like I said, the expiration is 2026, so it's relatively fresh. Maybe that's why it's decent. It tastes like a lot on the fruity side, so you don't get like that dusty taste. So this is not bad at all. Together with this is like a nice dessert. This is a good way to finish off breakfast. Really enjoy this a lot. I would say from a 1 to a 10, I'll give this a good 9.5, if not a 10. It would be nice if they had cheese, like I said, but especially with this included, this is probably like a 10 for a single individual breakfast. And I'm doing this entire tube. It's absolutely phenomenal. So bomb. All right, we're gonna see about this vitamin C and fruit juice candy. That meat was so good. I'm ready for their lunch already. I'm already thinking about the lunch packet. That's how delicious this was. All right, so it doesn't look too appealing. That's the flavor. I think it's pineapple. Not bad, but it's not like a strong flavor. Just very mellow, very like modest in flavor. Not bad. It'd be nicer if it had like a nice crunch to it. So it kind of tastes like a little on the cheap side when it's like chewy like that. But the inside isn't bad at all either. Doesn't taste high quality though. All right, let's see about this little xylitol gum. Honestly, the presentation of that candy isn't the worst, but it's not like top shelf candy, if you know what I mean. All right, this one little measly baby gum, but it is just like an after breakfast gum. Has a nice crunch to it. The menthol is quite strong, very refreshing, very nice. Please like, share, and subscribe. Till next time, signing off.